Welcome back.
It's been a minute.
It has been so long. Like, I don't even know how to feel to be in studio right now.
What?
I had to put my GPS. I'm just kidding. I had to put GPS on.
GPS on to get here.
Just kidding.
Man, I wasn't used to that traffic driving.
Oh my
'cause I'm coming
gosh.
from Chelsea, and so I was just like, bruh, look, this is a lot.
This is like, listen, I was just telling him, I was like, we've been doing this for over a year now, and we were doing it consistently. It was like it's a routine. It's like, okay, you can do it in my sleep. When we took a time off because of COVID and other things, whew, getting back in there was it's I'm struggling right now. I got it. I'm good. However,
Oh yeah, because
your sister's tired.
and I guess I don't know if y'all knew this, but she got COVID, and then right after she got it,
I
got it.
recovered. I'm like, okay, good guys. And then Jo'Van was like, well,
Yeah, and so then that made us be out for like a month. And
Yes.
So yeah, but we're back.
we're
You know what I'm
back
saying?
in studio. Well, we did do in the park, but we're back in the studio, ready for you guys. Did y'all miss us? We missed you guys. Just wondering if you missed us. You might or not. You're like, oh, y'all back? Y'all, this show is still a thing?
Right.
Just hopefully that's not the case. But we're
We're
back.
black. Let's get into it.
Yes. Alrighty, guys. So, Jo'Van, it is the World Games is here.
The World Games are here. Have you been to any?
I only went to the opening ceremony.
Okay, how was that? It looked cool. Uh-oh.
It was cool.
Oh, remember, you in Birmingham now. Here come the hate.
No. It was cool. I did enjoy it. I think because it was day one, some of the buses wasn't like operating as smoothly as I would liked. But other than that, I mean, the ceremony itself was great. No complaints. It was good. It felt like a time in history. I will never forget that moment. It was just like a great celebration, and it was just like they introduced each country that was involved, and it was like, oh, it was so exciting. So
Right.
it was great. What about you?
So, I was adding our post to our page. Let people know.
We
Y'all
live
need to get up on here.
because we're stalling. We're trying to get y'all to the
Right,
topic.
Giving y'all a chance. And we need a lot of participation for this topic because
Yes.
I feel like everyone's going to have stories or a perspective on this type of stuff, and I think it'll be really fun to talk about.
Yes.
So, yeah, I did go to the World Games. I went and supported.
Sorry. Go ahead.
I went and supported our brother Wes Cam, who was on the show a few months ago.
Yeah.
And he actually performed at the World Games.
I saw that. How was it?
Oh, it was great. It was great. Wes
Is
Cam,
it a city walk?
is that the area next to Eugene's Hot Chicken?
Mm-hmm. Like under the bridge? Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, he performed over there. He's an amazing performer, very charismatic. He also was singing a little bit, which I had never seen him sing. So I was like, okay,
Okay, Wes Cam.
Yeah. So
At least you got to come back on the show and perform for us.
right. Yeah. So shout out to Wes Cam for killing it, and Classified Alias, who was the DJ and
Okay.
who produced all the tracks that Wes
Oh.
Cam's rapping on. He's an amazing performer, DJ, all that stuff.
Awesome.
So yeah, shout out to Classified Alias as well. But yeah, unfortunately, I was supposed to see the archery,
Mm-hmm.
and I was supposed to see drone racing.
Yeah.
Archery, I wasn't able to make it because I had to actually attend a funeral that Saturday morning. But then after that, we went to go see West Cam. Here's a bug.
I was like,
That's on my face.
you had to acknowledge that because you're just looking like.
People have been like, "What is this man doing with his hands?" COVID has still messed him up. He ain't been the same. But anyway, it literally landed on my hand. It's messing with me. So it was actually storming last Saturday, if y'all don't remember. And as soon as we left West Camp's performance, we went to the Protective Life Stadium where UAB plays. Sit down. The drones were fast. That's the one thing that I can say. It was awesome. They had the obstacle course going from the field and even into the stands, and they were flying over things and all that stuff. 5 minutes being there, rain, boom,
Oh my god!
Canceled the whole rest of
Oh
the day.
no!
And so that was my World Games experience. But it was really amazing seeing all the different cultures and all the different people. And
Yeah.
not just walking around, but walking around in their like cultural clothing.
Yes.
So it was really cool and beautiful to see Birmingham like that.
Definitely. They did have some drones at the opening ceremony. They were making different designs. It was so cool. I thought it was great. It was just a great time. Time in history. If you haven't already, please support.
Yes.
If there's any tickets available. I know there's some tickets available for the closing ceremony still, because I looked into that today. So this is a great time to get out and
You're missing out.
yeah, definitely. Even if you just go down a city walk, there's so much stuff going on down there. So check it out, guys.
For sure. So what else we got? Stellar Awards.
The Stellar Awards
Yep.
this Saturday, I believe, the 16th. It's a live recording in Atlanta, so it's a little close to home. It used to be in Vegas, if I'm not mistaken, so it's a little close. Maybe.
Everything's in Atlanta, man.
I know.
They're
It's
bringing everything over here.
I know it's a lot, but I'm excited for Maverick City Music. I love them. So any category they are nominated for, that's who has my votes. So
Okay.
I'm all for it. What about you?
You know, I'm always going to be for the person from, Birmingham. Pastor Mike Jr. He is killing it. I think he's up for Artist of the Year and Song of the Year. And so I want him to win. Put on for the city of Birmingham, Rock City Church.
Yeah.
So
Gotta represent for your own. BHAM in the house.
Yeah.
Monica Parker says, hello. She says she wants to go to the World Games, but the heat. I don't know. That's a terrible excuse. No, listen. You know how I feel about the heat. I hate the heat. But just go there for a little bit to say you were there, just to look around. I think you would really enjoy it. I sweated like so bad that it was starting at 8. And I thought, oh, it'll be cool down. No, I was so hot.
I will say this. Underneath so it's City Walk. You're going to be underneath the bridges
Yeah.
and all that stuff. To me, it wasn't hot.
Well, I wasn't on there. I was actually in the stadium, so yeah.
So, yeah, if you're in the stadium, you're going to be cooking. But if you're
so
in City
hot.
Walk, it's all shaded.
Yeah,
So-
that's true.
So go to
Still
City
hot.
Walk. Yeah.
It's still hot, so put it out there. It's shaded, but that heat's still kicking. Right. So. But no, I definitely encourage everyone to go out and just look around and experience just for a little bit. If it's just walking around for a few minutes and just taking it all in, because this is something great that's coming to Birmingham. So I think we all should just do just a little bit. Get out there, people. Get out there.
Facts. All right. So probably should get into the topic of the day.
Yes, because I'm gonna move right along.
Do you feel like this the opening moved too fast or too slow? I feel like it went too slow.
Wait, what? The
So
open?
the topic of the day is how do you know if a relationship signs a relationship is moving too fast?
I was like, the opening. I was like, wait, are we talking about the wrong games? About the intro? What are we talking about here?
I was trying to be creative, Brandon.
I know, but you lost me there. Sorry, people. I was like, gotta be more clear.
See, we're off. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
Show.
Listen,
She doesn't get my jokes anymore.
who are you? Wait, what is your name?
Oh, thank
What-
you. Thank you. Sorry, I didn't realize you guys couldn't hear me.
You missed my joke, so I said, what is your name?
Paul. Paul. Yeah, it's been a minute. But yes, our
Goodbye.
topic of the day is signs a relationship is moving too fast. So, Brandice, do you have any signs that a relationship is moving too fast?
We don't even know the person's name. That's
Facts.
one sign that you're moving too fast. I think as far as jumping to an actual relationship, I think there are some things you should know before moving in. Just the foundation stuff, as far as do you share the same morals and things of that nature? You can't just go based on looks or things of that nature. Oh, he's cute. Yeah, do you want to be my girlfriend? Yes. No, you gotta get to know that person, know some things that they don't like, to make sure the chemistry's there and that this is a good thing. Because you're not in middle school, guys. We can't just be like, do you like me? Yes or no. You gotta be a little bit more before jumping into a relationship, especially when it gets a little more serious down the road.
Right, and I agree. I think, if you have their Wi-Fi password in the first week that you meet them. You know what I'm saying? I think he might be moving too fast. You know what I'm saying?
That is true.
It's like you go by their place and the Wi-Fi connects immediately. You're just like that should be a sign. You're like, hold up now. You know.
I mean, but what if you just know? You just know. You just like, it's like a movie. You see that person and you just get like, ah.
I mean, you can know, but you also have to.
I'm just playing devil.
Yeah, no, you play devil. I love it. No, I mean, I have this thing where you're not gonna meet my parents until like at least 3 months after. That's me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I need to get to know you. I need to know how I feel about you. And I feel like you can't do that like super fast. Like imagine, I believe that, like, let's say within the first 3 months, and I'm using 3 months because I feel like that's a standard a lot of people use.
I think that's a good standard, though. I feel like the mask comes off at 3 months. So I feel like you get to really know that person after 3 months.
Exactly, because they can't keep up the facade forever. No, I've actually seen like TV shows where, you know what I'm saying? Like those people get married. They're like, this is not the person I've been dating for. You know what I'm saying?
Listen,
so it is possible, but most people, they mess up. They trip up. So I feel like in the first 3 months, you can be highly involved with that person and talk a lot, but you can also like create space to where you can actually process, is this the person for me? You know what I'm saying? But if you're jumping into a relationship before 3 months, I just feel like you may be making your decision off that high of meeting someone new that you're attracted to. Definitely. You know, that you have chemistry with off the bat. Oh yeah. Anyway,
that is true. But what about the people who, I've heard stories of people like meeting someone a couple of weeks later, months later, just a few months, not too long, maybe within 3 months. They're like, I want to marry you.
So, I mean, I don't understand those people. I don't. You know,
I mean, it's happened.
I think it's almost like, it's one of those things where just because it happened doesn't make it normal. And I think sometimes, like, I'm not saying people can't get married, or I'm talking about marriage. Know they want to marry someone after the first 3 months. I think it can happen, but I think in majority of cases, that's not what happens.
Yeah.
I think that people have to, and then I feel like only two healthy people can
do that.
Truly know for sure that this is someone that they're going to marry. Like, if you're not healthy, how do you know you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, how do you even know?
No, I agree with you.
And most people, I would say, are not mentally okay.
Yeah.
You know, to the degree where they can make that decision to be in a relationship. So, I don't know. There's so many factors that come into play when it comes to deciding, like, I'm ready. Not just like you're the right person, but I am actually ready. Those are two different things. Because you can know someone's the right person for you, but if you're not, but you can also know that you're not ready to make that commitment. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's complicated to me.
It can be, yes.
What you got?
But back to what you said, that caveat. If you're too healthy, mature, know exactly what you want, not playing games. If you I feel like with those two people come together, I feel like it can happen.
Absolutely.
However, you have to know for sure. There have to be some prayer going on there, seeking God. Because, like, listen, even if everything's great, things gonna change. So you have to know for sure that, like, you have to know in your heart and trust God to, like, show you, like, hey, yes, this is the person. Because even if everything's great in the beginning, y'all have the same like-minded goals, morals, all of the things. Life is going to happen. Things are going to get hard. And you just have to make sure you're sure. You're two people who are going to be committed to stick through it when the time gets rough.
Can you define... This isn't a fair question, actually. Let me rephrase.
Let's see if we have any... What do you guys think? Do you have any... what do you guys think about moving too fast? Is there such thing as moving too fast, or do you think when you know, you know?
Yes. Give us your thoughts. I do have a side question, though.
Okay.
What does it mean to know for sure? And does that actually exist? Because I feel like
I tell myself that you will never like I will never know for sure with anybody that exists, just because I feel like that puts too much pressure on me, that if there's any form of doubt that I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I feel like there's got to be some amount of doubt that exists.
Listen, I was
right.
However, I feel like if you're seeking God, praying about it, He gives you that peace and just that unction to know, like, yes, He gives you that, like, this is your person or whatever. That's how I would feel like. Because the thing is, in the scripture, He tells you to acknowledge Him in all your ways. So if you acknowledge Him when you're dating somebody, like, is this my person? You would feel that peace and just feel like this is my person, as opposed to being uneasy. I'm not saying that just because this is your person, everything's going to be rainbows and sunshines. It's just, it will make it a little easier. Oh, so that's how I would take it, especially as a Christian. Like, I would definitely, if that was ever a situation where I meet someone and I feel like personally like, oh, I think this is it, I would definitely be praying. Because listen, marriage is a serious thing, and I never ever want to jump into it half-hearted. So I would definitely be praying, like, Lord, is this the person? Seeking His face, like, to get that confirmation. So that would be I hope the people who got married that fast did the same thing. And so, because the thing, the people that I know who have done that, they are still married for years and years later. So I would hope and think they did the same thing as far as praying about it and seeking God.
You said a word right there.
Just saying.
No, for real. Like,
listen, I'm back, y'all.
You are, and like you said something like you have to invite God into that decision, because if God gives you that peace, it makes it so much easier.
Yeah, definitely.
But if you're not getting that peace from God, and what are you basing it off of? Just how you feel,
right?
You know what I'm saying? And
yes.
Yeah, but we have some comments.
Yes, we do. So Monica Parks, I read the first one. She says, right, that's how me and Pastor were. From our first convo, we were a couple. Even when we argued in our first conversation, we just clicked and got married 7 months later. I don't recommend this, though. I don't recommend this to everyone. Most couples that I know have been married for over 35 years, and some over 40. They dated for a short period of time, and most of them got married within that same year.
So, Ms. Parker, can you expand upon, like, why you... Well, okay, first of all...
I have some people saying because they can't hear you, so speak a little louder.
Okay. So, I guess my question is, can you expand upon why you don't recommend getting married, like, within 7 months? Or, in your opinion, how long should a couple date before they get married? Because... I agree. I think under a year, like for me personally, I think that is too fast, because I feel like there hasn't been enough life moments and experiences to really test if this person can, like, I feel like we need a year of, like, because a year I think you can have maybe 2 or 3 major issues and see how you deal with them, see how they act. Do they get distant? And if they do get upset, which is a normal human reaction because of whatever happened, how do they process it? Do they push you away? Do they get toxic? Or do they just need like 24 hours to be like, okay, let me just process this. Okay, I'm good. Let's talk. Because those are 2 completely different reactions, but it's hard to see that in 3 months. And that's why I don't understand how people get married in 3 months. Because, like, what have you really seen? Not married in 3 months, but for sure know that they want to get married. You know what I'm saying? Because some people will propose in 3 months.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
To me, I'm not, like, no judgment, but for me personally, that's scary. Because you're basically taking 3 months. In stone. You're taking 3 months and making what should be a lifetime commitment.
Right. Like, listen, I mean, it happens. I mean, I know a lot of people, and I was talking about this at work the other day, actually. I know a couple of my coworkers, they were dating less than a year, married within that same year, with less than a year. So met the person, a couple months, engaged, and then a couple months later, married. So, and both of the people that I'm talking to have been married 20 plus years.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to put my phone on Do Not Disturb because it is going crazy right now. I don't know.
Let's see if we have any more. Keisha said, I think it depends on the person. You might click and pray and just know that that's the person for you and move on to marriage in a short period of time. I agree, like, especially when you're involving God. I mean, we can make decisions on our emotions or whatever, so that can flee. But the key part is involving God in that decision. And I think when he's involved and he gives you the okay and that peace about it, then what else do you need at that point? I guess that's my thing.
At what point?
If God gives you the okay and peace,
right.
It's like, I mean, life's going to come at you. It's going to get hard. So I don't know. So if I got that legit seal sign, whatever, from God saying, go for it. Why are you, I mean, not saying you, but I'm saying for people, what would make you wait even longer?
Yeah, no, I agree. I will add this too. So I think it can be different for different people, because you have to, as an individual, you have to be ready for marriage.
Yes, definitely.
There's some things that you have to go through before you get married. And I can't say what that is for everybody, but some people have to overcome certain things. And I know that's not always the case thing, but because I understand that God can work on you, I know God can work on you in any situation, in any, circumstance. I just think there's some things that are better you work on while you're single than while you're married. And I feel like if you truly want the best outcome, you will work on those things as much as you can before you get married. And I feel like, I'm just thinking about me. Up until 25, 25, I thought I knew something. I'm 29 now, and I'm just like, I knew nothing at 25. So I wouldn't have trusted any of my decisions on picking a person at 25. So I don't know.
No,
Y'all more mature than me.
No, when you did say some of that, that makes sense. Like, yes, that might be your person, but however, I can see how not being ready, fully mature enough to do it, because I don't know. I'm kind of like, but I see what you're saying. That's all I'm going to say, because I feel like I'm going to mess it up if I try to go deeper than what you said. But I do understand how, like, maybe, yes, you got that green light, but there might be some things that you need to work on individually before you fully connect with that person. And just like, yeah, it might be your person, but you might mess it up. So I can see how that can be. But I don't know. What do you guys think about that in the comments? I would love to.
Looks like we got some more.
Okay. Okay, so someone at Park says, the thing about marriage with my age group and over, we weren't looking for at all those things that you guys are looking at. When we fell in love, we knew we wanted to be together, and we got married. And so Pastor Nikita Parker said, you need commitment, and that is the key. And I feel like in this day and age, that is what's missing a lot. It's that commitment. It's like we want the checklist. We want to look good on Instagram or whatever, but when things get hard, it's like that commitment is what's missing. And so it's like, on to the next. It's nobody staying through the rough and difficult times. No one's having those difficult conversations. It's just like, on to the next. Nobody is just like, that's, I just feel like how it is nowadays. It's like,
I agree.
That patience, that when things go out, pray, and just stick it. It is. I mean, okay. When you're dating, obviously, you want the commitment. However, we're not saying if he's like treating you horrible, like, oh, you have to have that commitment, girl. No, I'm not saying that. However, if you know this person's a good person, a good man, a good girl, woman, and but just things get hard, just regular everyday life things. Stick it through if it's just small things that you know that you can work through. I mean, and just always seek God in every situation, so you'll know and get that clarity. That's all I want to say on that. Just that commitment is missing these days, though, in every aspect of life. Just side note, and this is kind of proof to this. We at work we've had like interviews this week. It had 3 people that just no show. We've did phone interviews. They're like, yes, we're gonna be there. No shows, and I'm like, what? You want this job? Like, what is going on? So it's just like that commitment, that drive, or whatever. It's just not there on all aspects, and especially in relationships. Because if it doesn't line up, look perfect for Instagram, Facebook, whatever social media, it's like we don't want it, because they think that these people's reels or whatever is is the all of their whole life. And no,
Right.
it's just a small
Right.
segment of their
That's
life.
facts.
So,
Okay, this is off topic completely.
oh Lord.
I mean, it's okay. The topic is how do you know you're moving too fast?
Okay.
But this is a question about marriage in general.
Okay.
Do you feel like you should marry for happiness? I heard like a panel talking about this recently.
What do you mean? Okay, explain a little bit. Like just
Like, should you get married? And off the basis is you want this marriage to be part of your happiness and make you happy. Not like completely, but
nobody can make you happy. So no, I don't. I mean, yes, you want to be happy.
Right.
You know, you don't want to be like drained or sad or whatever in your whole relationship. However, I don't think that should be like the main. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Yes, you want to be happy.
Yes.
But to try to search for that happiness from somebody else, no.
Yeah, I don't think you should. I haven't figured out how to perfectly word this yet, but yeah, I don't think you should expect happiness all the time in marriage. And I feel like that's what people need to like go into understanding, because like there's not one person I know that I want to be around all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And there's gonna be moments where we just don't, see eye to eye.
Yeah.
And so I don't want that to be one of the. I mean, yes, I want to be happy in general, but I don't want that to be one of the pillars. Because what happens when I'm not happy? Like, do I want to move on? Like, how do I process that?
Yeah.
If that's what I'm expecting all the time. So that's something I've been mulling over in the old noggin.
Well, let us know in the
Recently.
comments, and we have lots of those. So let's dive in.
Okay.
Alrighty. So, Pastor said, unique commitment. Monica Park said, from what I see, those who have long engagements and take a long time to commit to each other to get married are the ones whose marriages usually don't last. Interesting. That is true, though. It's just like, it's one thing, okay, you're dating, but once you get, unless you're saving money for the wedding, it's like, why are you having this long engagement?
Well, how long is a long engagement or dating? Let me know in the comments.
Yes. What do you consider a long dating and engagement?
Yeah, both, because you can date for 3 months, get engaged, and not get married for 2 years. You know what I'm saying?
Like if you hold on, time.
I'm just saying.
But what's the point of that though? If you decided at 3 months, no, this is it. Listen, if you got proposed in 3 months, why you gotta wait for 2 years and you're not ready to propose?
We can answer that, but what I'm just trying to say is when they answer the question, it's gonna be between long engagements and then because you can have a long engagement period, but you can also have a long dating period, and then you get engaged and get married 6 months later. So I'm just saying, like, how long, in y'all's opinion, what is like too long for dating?
Yes.
And what is too long for an engagement in your opinion?
Please let us know, because that scenario you just no sir. Alrighty, so Latoya says she agree. I think the main thing is being ready for marriage. It seems like when both parties are ready, then it doesn't take a long time to know. And I think that's true. When you're truly ready, you're done with the games, you're done playing the field, all the things, you're ready mentally, emotionally, all of the things, then it shouldn't take that long. I'm just gonna keep on going with the comments. All right, she says,
I have more to say, but we gotta answer these comments.
Okay.
Yeah.
Toya also says people who are still undecided seem to take longer. Also, I feel some people are not mature enough. That is true. Cicely agrees with Miss Parker. Pastor Nikita says feelings come and go. Exactly. Okay, so Lady Monica Parker, she said the bottom line is when you find the woman that you are crazy in love with, you don't want to be without her, and you're going to want to marry her as soon as possible. She also said you can work on it all you want, but it's another ball game once you say I do. There are so many dynamics in marriage, you can't really prepare 100% for anything. That's good. You have any?
No, I agree with that.
One more.
I agree with the last part. Like, she said, there's so many dynamics in a marriage that you can't really prepare 100% for everything. No, that's facts, because I've seen that even in relationships, just like not even marriage. It's like, yeah, I've been working on myself, and then I get in a relationship, and I'm like, Man, I have very little patience. You know
Yes,
what I'm
'cause
saying?
like exactly, because there's so much you can do for yourself. Like, oh yes, I have all the
Yeah.
patience. I am all mature. I'm whatever. But you got to bring somebody else who has a totally different background, totally different way of doing things, and it's going to like push you. It's going to make you grow, whatever. So you're never ever going to be like 100%. It's just, are you prepared to go through all of the things with somebody else and mentally prepared to do this?
That is the question. That is the question.
That is the question of the hour.
Yeah. You know, I want to have a debate. I want to have Pastor Parker and Miss Parker like both come on. You know, we debate. Was it easier to be married, you know, when you guys got married, or is it easier to be married now?
Nothing's new in the sun. I don't know. That'd be a good one though.
I mean, I think it's worth the discussion. You know,
What do you say, Pastor and First
You know what I'm
Lady?
saying? We
You want to
haven't had you
join the
on.
Closing the Gap team?
Yeah, you got to join on for at least one episode. Come
Yeah,
on now.
listen, we need you guys. Y'all are great. Okay, so Pastor Parker said, to answer your question about happiness, he said the person should compliment your happiness. Yes, I agree with that. Compliment, but not like, oh, I need you.
Nah, that's draining. That's too much. That's too much. Ugh.
All right, but you had said something earlier. Well,
I didn't say nothing. What'd I say?
you were going off rails, and we had to get back to the comment. So,
Yeah, it was about happiness.
okay.
That was where I got off rails. We can come back.
Yeah. So, okay, back to Jo'Van's question, though. What do you guys consider a long dating and engagement? We would love to hear that.
Yeah.
What y'all think about that. So, Lady Monica Parker says, in marriage, you may go through a periods of not being happy at all the time. That's part of the journey. You're not always going to be on the mountain in a marriage. Marriage is seasons. That is so true. Listen, I always say this all the time. I think when you're not quote unquote happy, it's like, I'm just not happy anymore. I need to find somebody else. I hear that all the time. It's like, what happened? I'm just not happy. And I'm like,
Yeah.
words.
No, I feel like it's not complicated, but it's complicated because I feel like in order to be happy in a relationship, especially a romantic relationship, you have to continuously like try to win the other person over.
Mm-hmm.
Not like in a like proving yourself because you should know you're enough, but just like how you got them during dating.
And
you
both
should-
parties, yes.
Yeah, both parties should continue to do those things. You know what I'm saying? It's not like they're not going to want those things anymore.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I got you. I'm complete now.
You know what I'm saying? So you have to keep that going. But that's I think this is a whole other episode, bruh.
I mean, okay, moving into, let's see if we have any comments before I say that. You know within a year of dating. Is that what you're saying to propose? Okay, so Pastor says 2 years is too long. Toya says 2+ years is too long. And somebody said over 1 year. Oh, this is interesting. Especially when you're of a certain age. I feel like when you're in your 20s and younger, yes, longer dating to get to know the person and get to kind of growing up yourself. I can understand that. But once you get in your 30s, it doesn't take all of that. I don't think hopefully in your 30s you've matured, you know what you want, and you're doing growing you as an individual. So hopefully, I know that's not the case for everybody, hopefully at this point in life, once you're not playing games, you're ready, all of the things, so when you do meet somebody, you're like, okay, let's go, and not any of this.
That COVID cough is still here. I don't have COVID, but it's that nagging cough. Anyway, I love that you put that in context because what I believe, yes, the stage of life does matter. Because if you're in your 30s, you should have had enough experience, hopefully, in your 20s. That's not always the case.
That is not the case.
That's
Listen,
not the case.
I'm out here dating. It's not the case.
Yeah. But hopefully you've had enough experience to where you know what you want and you kind of know yourself enough to know what you need and want by your time in your 30s. But I agree, in your 20s, you're still figuring out a lot. You know what I'm saying? And so, I don't know. I have grace for people that need more time in their 20s, but you got also, if you're the one that knows and you're with someone that doesn't know, you also have to think about your time. And so, yeah.
Interesting. So also, like, just on the opposite side, how do you know once you're out of a relationship, how do you know you're moving too fast into another relationship? Is it to move on from your ex? How do you know you're moving too fast?
I think one of the biggest signs is you're moving on because you need to replace that person. Like, that person left a hole and you're just wanting to fill that hole with somebody else. Mm-hmm. That is a huge sign that you're moving too fast, because it's not necessarily about like how good the person is. You just miss having someone to talk to, someone to go to the movies with, and all that stuff. Get a friend. You know what I'm saying? Don't get into another relationship.
That is true.
You know what I'm saying? Because you just want the companionship.
Yeah.
It's not about actually wanting to, build anything with this person.
That is true. I agree with you. Like, when you break up with someone, you have to recover from that. Like, you don't want to take any of that past drama or baggage into the next relationship. So you need to make sure you heal. You're fully over that person, because if you're not, you're going to take it into the next. So make sure you are mentally and emotionally prepared and ready for that next relationship, so you're not doing any harm or damage to the next person. Okay, you brought
your turn.
Yeah. Like,
there's a bug.
It's like a little gnat
right
over
now.
here, and it's like,
It
so we're
it
not
has
crazy.
something to say about marriage.
Right. It was like, what do you want to say to that? Alrighty. So, okay. Over 1 year. So, I think Pastor was saying that's why happiness isn't a condition to be married. That is true. And then Keisha said, I don't think age is a major factor either. You can be in 20s but be more mature. That is true. Some people just are more mature, and I know people that were married in their early 20s and are still married today. My age, and actually there's one couple I actually went to middle school with. They were middle school sweethearts, got married, still married, happily, all the things.
That's beautiful.
So, it can happen. I know people got married in their early 20s, been married for 30 plus years. So it happens. That was like a generic thing, but for the most part, a lot of times in 20s they are growing. However, it still can happen.
Yeah, I'm kind of, not that I'm picking one or the other, but I'm more inclined to the last thing you said, which is, that's awesome that, people that can have a middle school sweetheart. I think that's awesome. Mm-hmm. But like, ratio wise, statistically, that doesn't happen very often, and I feel like we should give people like the space to be immature in their early 20s. I mean, trust me, I was jealous of people that were super mature in their early 20s. I'm like, how did you get here? But they stood out because they're far and few between, So I think most people just aren't mature enough to make that decision. In their youth.
Yeah. Somebody said recently, not recently, it's not a new quote, but they said, youth is wasted. Youth was wasted on the youth. Like, basically, it was Dion Cole who said that. I was like, somewhere.
Yeah.
There was some philosopher that said this very quote, just awakened my mind. Oh, wait, it was Dion Cole.
Oh my gosh. But basically he was just saying, like, I feel like the youth has all of this like energy, all of this whatever, but they're not mature enough. And he was saying how he's in his 50s now and he has all this wisdom, and he wished he had the same wisdom in his 20s that he did now. So
don't we all?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Like, somebody very wise once said. That's funny.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, let's see what the comments are saying. I think they're but back to the breaking up. I think people do rush into the next relationship because like you said, they want to feel needed. They want to feel like they have someone on their arm. They don't like being alone. And I just think that's horrible reasons to jump into the next relationship. I mean, you can definitely, quote unquote, talk to people just to pass time, but you have to make sure you're very clear that you're not looking for anything serious. You just want to talk to someone, maybe do lunch dates, but you have to I can't stress this enough, be clear. Don't play with people's emotions. If you know you're not ready, but you just want, quote unquote, companionship to go to the movies with or do lunch dates, that's fine if you're clear and honest of what you want in a situation. Oh Lord. What? Is nothing wrong with having a friend? Like, oh, let's go to the movies.
You know, it is true.
If you're honest,
it is true, but I just feel like people don't being honest. I feel like people are like, oh yeah, let's go to the movies. Oh, you know, oh you're. I mean, shout out to the girls that say, "You're my best friend." They say it, but some don't say it. They just, they'll hit you. Oh my gosh. Some girls they just love the attention, the validation. You know what I'm saying? And they will they'll just take it until you cut it off. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, watch out for that.
You have to be careful with that. But for a mature person who is honest and actually mean what they are saying, clearly Jo'Van's been hurt.
I've been hurt. Okay.
This triggered you. No, I really didn't feel like it triggered you.
I mean, yeah, but
but
it's not just happened to me. I've had like girlfriends that I've seen, not girlfriends, but female friends who they were like, yeah, you know, he keeps messaging me, and I let him keep messaging me. You know what I'm saying? I don't tell him I'm not interested. I just, you know, I'm just like, because it's like, okay, it's passing the time. You know what I'm saying? It's like, until I find someone I really want. It happens all the time. So I'm just saying, just have some self-respect. And if you like somebody and they're not giving you the same energy, don't entertain it.
Don't entertain it, and I'll be honest. Because, listen, people are crazy these days. And people come out missing and going whatever because of you're playing with their emotions. So, listen, it's 2022. People are just on a whole other level. Don't play with these people's emotions and don't play games.
That reminds me of Big Worm from Friday. He's like, Smokey, you playing with my emotions. That's literally what that reminded me of.
Oh, anyway. Goodness.
Anyway.
All right, let's see if we have any comments. It just, like you said, it just depends on if you're ready. Not age, doesn't matter. So I think that's true. So
yeah. So if we have any more comments, like bring them in.
Yes. And also, like always, we always taking suggestions on future topics. So if you have anything you want us to talk about, let us know in the comments.
Yeah, let us know now because we might record it now. You know.
And if you haven't already, please go ahead and like and subscribe. Oh, sometimes we forget to put that little.
Toya heard me say that. She probably like, what? We have a schedule.
We always looking for because like our meetings were like, what should we talk about? Like, So it just makes it easier. We know what you want us to talk about. That's all.
Right.
So.
Oh, and shout out to Stephen Presley. He just joined in. He made a comment. He's got a podcast. It's a great podcast.
First lady said, at least you get some free dinners.
See, this is exactly what I'm talking about.
Listen, okay, well.
As long as don't get me wrong. There are some men that'll still give you a free dinner knowing that you don't like them. So I'm saying that's cool.
I can attest to that.
What?
I can attest to that.
Right.
But I was honest. I'm honest. That's the thing. Yeah. It's difference.
But that's okay. But there's some girls be like, man, I'm hungry.
Well, listen, in my 20s, I was not always honest. I'm just saying it. Now in my 30s, I'm mature. I don't ever want to hurt anybody's feelings or lead them on. I'm very honest now. However, there was a couple people that I was like, oh, okay, I'll go out with you.
That's what she was talking about when she said, you know, you could talk to someone to just pass the time. She talking about the time she was eating lobster and all that stuff. And the dude was like, this is going somewhere. It wasn't going anywhere.
Listen, that's what I'm saying. You got to mature in your 20s. That's all I'm saying.
That guy's watching the show right now. He's like, it didn't go anywhere. It didn't go anywhere. I thought this was going somewhere. Anyway.
I had some great dinners in my 20s.
See, I respect that she admitted that she had some great dinners.
Listen, that's all I'm going to say.
Watch out, guys. Watch out, man.
Now I'm just telling you, ladies, be honest.
But yeah, I just want to shout out Steven, my friend. He's got a great podcast talking about vulnerability and being vulnerable specifically as a man, because he is a man, Steven. And his last episode was being alone. Learning to be.
Steven, what was your last episode?
It was like being lonely versus being alone. Just say what it was, bro. Like I'm butchering it. I listened to it. It was great. So
Yes.
yeah,
He is up here struggling. Please let us know. And let our people know where they can follow you as well. So we like to support other people.
the Vol podcast on Spotify and other streaming. I think Amazon Music, but it's spelled VUL podcast. So
awesome. Let's see. Alone versus lonely.
Man, my stuff ain't updated.
Got that Wi-Fi.
Nah.
Alrighty.
Alone versus only.
Alrighty, guys. But you can continue commenting and let us know what you want us to talk about. We're always here, so we're back. We're back on our schedule, so you don't have to worry about missing an episode or missing us. We're back like we never left.
Thank y'all for tuning in. We will see y'all next time.
Bye.
I love the dancing.